Sierra, thanks for your time. I'm excited to hear a little bit more about Hermesian. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and actually about the company?
Sure. My name is Sierra Mendoza. I'm a sophomore currently at Greenwich High School. And the reason I started Hermesian was because I did have some coding background since I was like 8 or 7. I actually started to learn coding with my parents. But then one day I was reading the news on the Washington Post and I saw the breaking headline that COVID had just surfaced basically. And I was telling my friends about this crazy new disease like at school in like 6th or 7th grade. And they were all like, "Oh, I never heard of that. I never knew this actually happened." And then in like a few weeks, the pandemic happened and like everyone was shut down. And it just became really apparent to me how vital reading the news can be because then you can be aware of current events. And I think that's just a very important skill, especially for my generation who is built with social media. And one of the key things, like problems that happens with social media, is bias and clickbait and just false information. So my app that I decided to build, Hermesian, it's a news app which basically gives unbiased news and gives an engaging form so people can, play games about it or they can just keep doing it every single day. They can find it basically addicting actually to read the news every single day and make it come from trustworthy sources.
Interesting. It originally started during COVID, where you had seen a couple headlines, but none of your friends maybe had learned about it because, of course, the news can be boring, huh?
Exactly, yeah. And another thing is they might see incorrect news, which is even worse actually, is like they can make the wrong idea about what's happening just because certain sources aren't trustworthy and they're meant to misinform people.
Yeah, interesting. How are you planning to tackle the issue of making sure that the information can be trusted? And how are you putting all that together and deciding what to then push out?
Mhm. Yeah, so the main way that I'm building kind of like a model, like a system to retrieve factual correct news sources is a multi-step verification process basically. So it won't just be I receive news from, for example, the New York Times. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to receive news from many different sources about the same exact story. So it's called cooperation basically. So if many different sources, for example, say the weather outside is sunny, instead of just one source saying it's raining, then that way, with this multi-step verification process, I'm supplying stories and like news events that are validated by multiple sources. That way, it's not just a single outlier is providing you incorrect news.
That is great. That's really great. How is the company going? How far along are you with the actual app? Tell us a little bit more.
Sure. So actually, I started in last December actually, so it hasn't been that much time. But with the Yes program, I definitely they allowed me to go more in depth with the financials, especially that was the one part that I was very disconnected with basically. But since December, I have been coding it. Actually, I want to submit it for a competition called the Congressional App Challenge by November. So that's to be a good deadline to make it all uploaded and ready to go on the web. But I think the Yes program over the summer helped me with not just like the technical side, but also the non-technical side. So for example, marketing, my business model and like plan. So I would say right now it's in a really good development stage. I think I've moved past the ideation stage. So now it's just trying to code it all and get it all finished by November to submit it.
Wonderful. So it sounds to me that you came into the Yes program where your business was still just in the idea phase.
Exactly. Yeah. It was just in the idea phase. I mean, yeah, I thought about it for like a month or two before I went to the Yes program. But yeah, it was just an ideation. But I think with the immense help that they've provided, I am able to launch it just from ideas to an actual website and just the actual plan and model and all the pricing. Things are all worked out now.
It's super exciting. Super exciting. A lot of young entrepreneurs believe that they need to have a operating business ready to go, but in fact, you can be pretty early on just an idea.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Wonderful. Thinking back before the program, why did you originally apply for Yes, and what excited you most about it?
So the reason I actually applied was because I thought it was a really great idea, just like a program that can help to build a like high schoolers project and their own specific project. I like that it wasn't kind of like a general kind of like class that kind of worked on just general entrepreneurship skills. It works on the skills that you need for your own business. And I thought it'd be really exciting, like to learn how to start my own business. I think that it covers all the necessary topics that I wanted to. Again, I'm more of a technical person, so I was happy that it covered topics like sales and marketing because those were topics that I wasn't very familiar with. So yeah, so that's kind of what excited me most about joining the YES program.
It's interesting. You're more the technical side, and
Mhm.
so you're very happy that it covers the non-technical as well. But
Exactly.
based on every individual young entrepreneur's skill sets, we really help to fill the different gaps they might have. And so if somebody else isn't as technical, we can always help with those things as well,
Well, yeah.
which is exciting. Do you remember where you originally heard about the BizWorld Yes program?
Yeah. So I actually saw it on an Instagram account. Basically, it was an Instagram account dedicated towards providing like high schoolers cool opportunities, especially in New York. And then they kind of posted that there was this new, like this cool program that was going on for entrepreneurship. And I just saw that. So I'm really happy that I was able to come across that ad and it really transformed my business for sure.
Nice. And so it was through it wasn't through the BizWorld Instagram. It was through a different account that just talks about was specific business opportunities for youth.
Exactly. Yeah. I didn't come across the actual BizWorld Instagram page, but I did come across an ad for it. So pretty interesting.
Okay. All right. Good to know. I always think this is a fun question. If you were to think about BizWorld and the Yes program, how would you explain it in simple terms to your best friend?
So the way I would explain the YES program is it's just a really interesting summer program where you can just make your own idea into something tangible, into something that is actually thought out, basically. Yeah, I think the biggest part that, again, I really took away from it was that I started from just like ideas forming in my head about a news app. And then I actually made like the wireframes and the business plans. So, whatever idea you have in your head, what other type of like business you want to market, any sort of project you want to start, BizWorld can help you make it into a real thing, like a real vision.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, it's so great because there are often young entrepreneurs who have already started businesses and they come in to help accelerate it further. But it's really great to speak with somebody that started with just the idea phase. Like you said, like the world can help you turn it into a reality.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Let's see. So a lot of young entrepreneurs end up telling us that the mentorship that they received was super helpful. Can you share maybe about how the mentorship actually impacted and affected you throughout the program?
Sure, yeah. This is actually a core part of my journey at BizWorld. It was my business coach, Shri, and she provided me a lot of help and guidance. Aside from just the amazing like class sessions with all the participants in it, we also received one-on-one guidance with the business coach. And I think with this special part of the program, I was really able to kind of nail in all the different kinks I was running into or any like issues with a one-on-one person. So I thought it was a really great addition because it was just even more personalized than it already was, like with the program focusing on your own individual businesses. So I thought the coaching was really helpful. And she was actually also a technical person. So she could help me with specific things I was running into, like in coding. So that was kind of an added thing is I'm pretty sure that like they tried to match you with someone that matches your interests. So yeah, I thought it was altogether a really good part of the program.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, absolutely. It's good to hear that you now realize that it is matched. Every young entrepreneur is specifically matched with somebody that can relate to them or can help fill the gaps that they even might be missing.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. And then what about the other young entrepreneurs in the program? How did being surrounded by a community of like-minded young entrepreneurs actually impact you?
So actually, it impacted me a lot because we all knew specific cool like tricks and strategies about just entrepreneurship in general or coding or whatnot, and it was kind of a really great space to share it. So, for example, if we were running into any issues, maybe we would kind of talk about it in the meeting, and then someone else would say, "Oh, I actually have a solution." A really great example is actually I was running into an issue with the AI models that I wanted to use for my app. Basically, I was saying it's really expensive. I can't really find a good, cheap model to use. And then another entrepreneur said, oh, we're actually using Gemini, which is a free Google AI model. And I started using that. And actually, I think I'm going to implement that for my actual project. So it can show how just like one solution from someone else, something that they've known, but you just haven't, that can really impact your business. And that was one of the greatest parts about being in a space with so many other talented entrepreneurs.
Okay, nice. And so if I'm hearing you correctly, it was the fact that during discussions, if you had problems, other young entrepreneurs could actually give you ideas on how to solve what you were going through based on what they were also working on.
Exactly. Yeah. It was really cool. And I think just in general, just sharing ideas and having a place where you can meet other people like minded like you in entrepreneurship is really like invaluable for sure.
It is meeting more like-minded people like you is invaluable.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. And Sierra, you are a finalist from Pitch Day. Super exciting. Going to Demo Day. How does that actually feel to have gone through the program and now you're advancing?
It feels really good because, again, I came in with just an idea and I realized I wasn't expecting that I would be able to advance, especially because, again, it was just an idea. Like, it's a very risky idea, actually, because, like, I'm still in the coding phase and whatnot. But I'm happy that through the program, I think that I can see that it's not just an idea anymore. And I think that because I've kind of worked so hard in the program and the program has really helped me with just my business, it's great to see like that hard work paid off and that my business could actually win money to become a real vision for sure.
And so next step is Demo Day, where you
Mhm.
actually have the chance to pitch for up to $30,000 in seed funding. If you were to win, what do you plan on using the funds for?
Yeah. So again, with the business program, I've thought long and hard about this and I'm seeking $10,000. And the places where I'm going to use the money is mainly for, 12,000 maybe with contingency. But yeah. So mainly it'll be for just advancing the program and getting the MVP ready. And some parts of it will be used, for example, as I said, for contingency, because obviously I'm not sure any unexpected costs I may run into. And then other things like the AI model, for example. Yeah, in general, it's kind of like all faceted for all the different parts of my business. But mainly, yeah, it was for just launching the MVP and getting it started. Sure.
Yes, that's great. That's great. Best of luck. I really hope that you do amazing. I'm sure you will, right? Considering you just did
Thank you.
such a great job in the 12-week accelerator and a pitch day and everything.
For sure.
You may have mentioned it a little bit earlier, but what would you say was the most valuable part of the BizWorld Yes program for you?
Yeah, I think for me, the most valuable part was actually it was just setting up the business plan. So basically, one of the key things that you get like as your grader, essentially as a participant, is like almost half of it is you creating a well in-depth, intricate business plan that covers all sorts of things about your business. So, for example, the mission statement or the pricing model or the projected revenue. And it just covers everything. And I like that it gave like a very simple yet like in-depth outline for how I can structure my business and actually kind of understand it fully before I just start coding and whatnot. And I think that that was the most valuable part is working with my business coach to develop my in-depth business plan for sure.
Wonderful. Something that not a lot of, especially young entrepreneurs, think is very important, right? To actually think through every single
Yeah.
piece of the puzzle. So it's wonderful to hear that that is the one of the most valuable parts to you. It's actually going through that business plan.
Yeah.
Why do you think that programs like Yes are important for youth and for young entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I like that you said just not just entrepreneurs, you could also just be anyone. I think that in general, entrepreneurship, it doesn't have to be just a business. It could just be you trying to start something from like new, like you trying to be a leader. And I think that this program stresses that. And I think it's very important for, especially for our generation, to be leaders. Yeah, and just take action. And I think that this program was very helpful for entrepreneurs in specifically because it helps with your own specific project idea. It's not just any general advice that you could get from like a book, for example. It is actual things that you're going to implement in your own business and actually launch it. And if you're in just the ideation stage, they can still take you, and it's really great for sure.
Nice. Tell me a little bit more about that. You caught what I said originally with why is a program like Yes important for anyone, not even just entrepreneurs?
Yeah, because I think just in general, being a leader and starting something can be really impactful for you, especially like for me, for example, just trying to start something new takes a lot of skill sets. It kind of combines all the different skill sets that you do from being a part of something. It can just really help you. Like, for example, it can help you with time management, leadership, experience, as well as just other things like, for example, Excel. Like, for example, I hadn't used Excel before for budgeting, and I thought that it really helped me. So I think that in general, you can gain a lot. Even if you're not an entrepreneur, you think that you're not really into like the business field, you can use all the skills that you learned from here for any career path, any hobby that you're interested in. So yeah, I thought it was a really great program in general.
Great. Thank you for that, Tara. I appreciate it. Along these same lines, let's just say that you were talking to another young entrepreneur who's thinking about applying to Yes. They're thinking about applying to Yes. What would you say to them?
I would say definitely go for it. Even if like you again are just in the ideation phase or you're already kind of into your business and just looking for acceleration, the YES program welcomes any entrepreneur in any sort of phase that they are in. The only thing that they require is just hard work, and you're gonna build that through the YES program. And yeah, so I think that it's definitely just an awesome program. Definitely for young entrepreneurs. That's definitely for high school students, college students. It can really help the youth that feel like, yeah, I'm just like a child. How am I gonna make a whole business? But they really believe in you, and they can make magic happen for sure.
Amazing. Thank you. And then we're really happy that we're able to provide the Yes program at no cost for the young entrepreneurs. And it's all thanks to the amazing support we have, the amazing donors that we have. Why do you think someone should support and donate to BizWorld and the Yes program?
I think that it's really important to fuel this program for sure because it is definitely a very special program, of course. They're helping youth build their own business ideas from even from scratch, like for me, for example. And I think that if there was a cost kind of barrier to this program, then many youth may not be able to partake in it because obviously the thing that they're looking for is to start their own business, and they want the guidance and the seed funding, and it could be difficult for people that have amazing ideas to participate because of a cost barrier. So it's really important to keep this program accessible for anyone who wants to start an idea because I think anyone could have an amazing idea. It's not just certain people from certain backgrounds. So I think that's something that, yes, specifically stresses with their no cost part of their program.
Said, we specifically try and help people from every single background. And it's through our amazing supporters and donors that we're able to do that, or else it would just be certain individuals who can afford a business accelerator, huh?
Exactly. Yeah.
Wonderful. Sierra, thank you very much. That's all the questions I had for you. You have any last thoughts for us before I let you go?
I guess like a last thought is again, any person who wants to do like who wants to start a business, like any sort of idea, definitely do the Yes program. It was a really like a game changer for me for sure.